really like to shop, and that is not a surprise if you've been following me for a little while or you have seen some of my content. But I do want to make this year a more mindful year for shopping. If you've been anywhere on the internet lately, whether that's TikTok or Instagram or even here on YouTube, you've probably seen a lot of this low buy, no buy movement going on. So this is not a new thing. I think it started a little while back with minimalist people, or like, people trying to become more minimal, and in general just minimal lifestyles. That could never be me. I like to buy things, like I mentioned. I like not only the adrenaline that shopping and having new things gives you, but just in general, whether that's shoes, bags, clothing, makeup, I like to buy things. So I would never do a no buy year. I would never even do like a no buy month, because I know it's not realistic for my lifestyle. So if you're like me and you like to shop, don't let this stop you from instead practicing a more mindful way of shopping, which is what I've really been doing for the past, I want to say, year, especially when it comes to makeup. Makeup is a bigger category for me that has changed very significantly in the past 2-ish years. So today we're going to be discussing what I won't be buying in this 2025, and maybe give you some tips along the way of what has helped me in previous years to stop myself from buying things that I really don't need. But before we get into this list, please be sure to subscribe. It is super easy. It does help my channel a lot, and thank you so much. If you are new to my channel, welcome. If you've been here before, thank you so much for sticking around. For me, this year is not going to be about not shopping, but it's going to be about shopping mindfully and shopping for the bigger ticket items that I want to get to. That again, it's gonna be mostly for my home. So I do want to make my home more homey, more cozy. I want to add more pieces of furniture. So all of these things are not cheap items. Just in general, furniture is not cheap. So I want to get to that goal. So by not spending as much in other categories, or really being more mindful about what I get, is going to help me get there. So it's gonna take me years to get this house how I want it. Of course, that's probably a never-ending project, just getting your house how you prefer. But it's gonna be easier if I'm not spending too much money in junk that realistically I don't need as much, like clothing or shoes. That is just something that maybe I end up not even using, which happens very frequently with a lot of the things that I buy. So now to what has helped me to become more mindful of my shopping. The big thing is gonna be creating a wish list, whether that's on your notes app, which that's what I have, and also a website, a free website that I found called thingstogetme.com. And you basically just put in your website, put in all the information, and you're gonna put links to what you want, the quantity, and the description. It's such a good way of visually seeing everything that you want, and this way you're not gonna be messing around. It's gonna stay there, and then it gives you time to think about this purchase, whether that's a small or big item. It's just an easy way of seeing all of your wants or needs, whatever it is for you. So I've got different categories. I've got China, because that's a big thing for me, and those again are more expensive items. So then I have clothes and shoes, things for the home, like my kitchen things. So this I just prioritize, and you can even put down what is the priority, low, medium, or high of these items. This is supposed to be to send to someone else so they know what to buy you, like a gift or whatever. But it's just, for me, a way of seeing everything that I want to get and how much everything costs, and what I need. So it'll help me prioritize, and by doing this, I don't run to buy things. Let's move on with what I'm personally no longer buying or doing low buy of. The first and bigger category of my no buy is going to be makeup. So I do have drawers full of makeup that realistically I don't even use as much anymore. If you've been following me for a little while, you know how I've been switching a little bit my makeup routines to very minimal, very low-key makeup, especially barely using any eyeshadow. And recently I filmed a video that is now disappeared. I don't know where those clips went, so I can never refilm it. I did a declutter, and it was a pretty good declutter. I decluttered a lot of things, which sadly I cannot refilm, obviously, because I threw out all of that stuff. But I got rid of a lot of things, and it made me realize that all the money that I wasted is products that either went to waste or I no longer liked. So makeup is something that, at least on me, I learned that maybe like 3 years ago, I loved maybe like a color for eyeshadow, or like to do some eyeliner, like those kind of things I don't even like anymore. So I wasted a lot of money in products that I am not going to use. So that being said, I am no longer buying makeup. I do have two exceptions. The first one is just going to be repurchases of products that I absolutely love, and once they are empty. That being mascara, concealer, corrector. It's kind of like I put it in the same category. I use one corrector only, the Tarte, and I keep repurchasing that, I think, for the past 3 years. So that's not going to change. Once it's over, I'm going to buy a new one. Same thing with concealer. I used to have so many of them, and I've been cutting down because I don't like them. I try to make it work, but at the end, I don't like how they look on me. I always boil it down to 3 concealers, so whenever one of those are done, I'll repurchase. Same thing with, that's pretty much it for repurchases. I think everything else I have plenty of, and I don't think I would need anything, unless, again, I don't know, let's say I finish up my Merit highlighter in Cava that I absolutely love, then I'll repurchase. But other than that, I am not planning on buying any makeup. No eyeshadow, no bronzers, no highlighters, no nothing, except for those 2 categories of like corrector, concealer if I finish it, or mascara. And then the other exception is the one thing that I will allow myself, and I say allow because, you know, it's no fun to restrict yourself from getting things that make you happy. And the one category in makeup that makes me still very happy, and I get very excited and giddy thinking about it and buying it, is lipstick. So I will still buy lipstick. That's the one thing that I'm not gonna stop. Doesn't mean that I'm gonna go crazy and buy 20 lipsticks just because that's like the one category that I am allowing myself to buy. But that means if I see a lipstick that I wanna get, I'm just gonna let myself buy it. So that's the only 2 things. Only 2 rules for this, or the exceptions. Repurchase of favorite products that I finish up, or lipstick. Lipstick is gonna be whatever. But yeah. But other than that, no more makeup for me in 2025. For the last beauty category, I am no longer buying any more perfume in 2025. So currently I only own 2 cruelty-free perfumes, and once those are done, I do have, I want to say like 8 or 9 bottles of non-cruelty-free perfumes that are still living in my collection from before I switched to cruelty-free. So although I'm going to finish those up pretty soon, I don't want to buy any more because I don't want the current ones that I have, even though they're not cruelty-free, to go bad just sitting in my shelf in my room. I keep pointing to different places. So until I start going over, like, finishing up those bottles, no more perfume for me in 2025, even if I don't have any more cruelty-free. Because again, it's just 2 bottles that are very minimal right now. And I was thinking that I wanted to buy a new one this year. But the whole point is, why should I buy a new one whenever I have some of them in my room just rotting away? So no perfume for me in 2025. So now to the final category, and probably the bigger one, is going to be shoes, clothing, bags, accessories, all that good stuff. I could never do a no buy because I love buying clothing and shoes and bags, but I will definitely be more mindful of what I buy. I would love to explore new brands that I've never tried, that are a little more expensive. Like, comes to mind, Cezanne. I really love Cezanne. Every time I look on the website, I'm like, ooh, I love this, I love that. But it is a little bit more expensive than, let's say, your Zara, your Old Navy, your Gap, Banana. So instead of maybe buying 2 sweaters or 2 cardigans from Gap, maybe I would just try to save a little bit and then buy the one from Cezanne that's like $150, $180 instead of 2 for $60 from Banana. So that is kind of like the mindful things that I'm gonna be doing moving forward with my clothing. And in the categories that I have a lot, let's say dresses, it's my bigger one, and jeans. If I buy a new pair, I'm going to, or a new item, I'm going to get rid of something. It's gonna be like the one in, one out rule. One big thing that I absolutely fell head over heels last year was Hill House, the brand, especially of course their dresses. I created quite a collection that's standing right there next to me of Hill House dresses, which they are not cheap. They are anywhere between $100 if you get them on sale to like $200 depending on what you get. So they're not cheap, but they're very good quality and I really love them. So per collection I was buying 3-4 dresses. So now what I'm doing, again, to keep more minimal on my buying, I'm going to really think about which dresses I really want to get. Like, let's say the collection, instead of getting the 4 dresses, I'm just gonna stick to 1-2 max per collection because I do have a lot of them. And instead of just buying the one model that I really love, I want to explore a few more of the dresses they offer and see, you know, how I like them. So that's a big thing for me because last year I spent a lot of money on that brand specifically. So just being more mindful and trying to find new dresses from them that will suit me and I'm gonna love. So I think that's gonna be pretty much everything for clothing. And now for shoes. Shoes is another big thing that I really love, but realistically I don't need any more shoes. And again, I keep looking at where my stuff is because I have like a big thing, like a bookshelf from IKEA full of shoes, plus I have more shoes in my closet under my bed, so I do not need any more shoes, but I love them. So I am going to do one per season pair of shoes. And then the last one is going to be handbags. I love buying handbags, but for the past, I want to say 4 months, I have stopped myself from purchasing. I don't even remember the last time I bought a bag. It was probably around September, maybe October of last year, and I feel very good about it. I've been wanting a few bags from Coach for a little while. I want to say what, like 4 months or so, but I've stopped myself because I want to be more mindful. I want to think about what I really want to get, if I'm gonna realistically use it, how much use I'm gonna get out of the bag, and if, you know, I still am thinking about purchasing 2 bags from Coach. I've got a few more totes that I want to get from either Land's End or LL Bean, and you know, whatever I like, but I am thinking about it for months at a time. If I still want it for a few months, then I'll go ahead and buy it. But same as the shoes, I'm only allowing myself to buy max 4 bags this year. So kind of like per season type of deal, same thing. Preferably less than 4, but that's the max I'm gonna be going for. And I'm going to wait until either there's a sale or I've got some kind of like special thing going on, like a birthday or, you know, anniversary, you name it. That's where I'm gonna go ahead and buy it as a present for that. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below if you're gonna be doing a low buy, a more mindful buy like I am for this year, or what are your thoughts in this whole either minimalistic or no buy years that I've seen a lot of people talk about. Like always, if you enjoyed it, please give it a big thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you on the next one. Bye!